How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Chaos Head Noah. We're just kind of speeding along yet again throughout the game, looking for delusions that we have not achieved yet, while we are waiting for the Nanami route to kick in. That is the route that we are set and stone on, I think. I don't think there's anything else that we have to do. We even got a new cutscene, or not cutscene, but a new scene in general, featuring Nanami and Rimi in the last episode. That was a little interesting there. I mean, now that we kind of know how everything plays out, yeah, Nanami really shouldn't know Rimi anymore, but we know that they do know each other. And there's that whole gap in Nanami's memory that is there because of the whole, Takumi made a copy of himself sort of deal. He delusioned himself up, if you will. So there's a lot that we know, and it's cool realizations to make with all these scenes that come up here. But I do not know if this was a positive or negative that we chose in the past. So I'm going to choose positive here just because I don't know. And yeah, okay. Yep, we chose positive before. We choose positive yet again. And that is okay. We're also in chapter 3 right now, I believe. And yeah, we're just kind of speeding along, looking for delusions that we have not yet achieved. I did choose some negative ones because I remember choosing positive before. So I know for a fact that whenever we go through again, whenever we're setting ourselves up for the next route, I'll definitely choose primarily negative routes or negative delusions just to, I don't know, get through all of them. Because at that point, we would have kind of singled those ones out. Is there a delusion here? No. Okay. So we continue on. No, so far everything's been pretty good with the with getting through all these, and oh, here we go. What did I choose before here? I don't know. So again, we'll go positive, and next time negative. Oh, here we go. Wouldn't it be nice if the transfer student were some holy messengers sent here to protect me and slay the demon? Whoever Rimi was, I had no doubt she was dangerous. My life was being eroded, and I knew that for a fact. Unless things changed, I'd be a dead man walking. Ayo! Suddenly, the transfer student turned her gaze toward me and whispered that. No way.
Takumi-kun, 私はここに殺すために来ました。悪魔を滅ぼします。
Even though the transfer student's eyes were welling with tears, they were also filled with determination. Despite her timid appearance, I felt like I could trust her. Actually, funnily enough, she actually does help us out later on. There is no doubt that from an outsider's perspective, her words were blatantly nonsensical. I was the only person in the sea of confused people who wasn't perplexed by her first words. In fact, I was screaming for joy, internally of course. I'm saved! No doubt an exorcist organization sent this girl to dispose of Rimi. Fuck yeah, kill that bitch. Yeah. Rimi's panicked voice rang from behind me.
その転校生の狙いは私じゃない。タクだよ。その子の言うことを聞いちゃダメ。悪魔さん、惑わすのはやめなさい。あなたはここで終わりです。悪魔はあなたでしょ。
うるさいな。
Right now, I didn't care who the real demon was, nor who my real ally was. I wanna...
僕は
Oh,
ブラ
nope,
チュ
that's
ーと
him
演奏
speaking.
して毎日を平穏に過ごせればそれでいいんだ。お前たちがどうなろうか知ったことじゃない。とりあえず2人で殺し合ってくれると助かる。で、相打ちで2人とも死亡ってエンディングを希望。
Following those words, I could feel a rising unease spread throughout the room. A transfer student whose name I didn't know, and a demon girl who had only been in this class since the day before yesterday. Each glaring daggers at each other from their own separate corners of the room, the tension between them burning like a fuse trailing toward a pack of TNT. The homeroom teacher and the rest of the students were on the edge of their seats, watching intently as the events unfolded.
いいよ。タクの言う通りにしてあげる。私も異論はないです。殺してあげる。
It's really weird hearing her talk normally.
暗殺者。あなたを殺します、悪魔さん。
And then they both sprang into action. Of course, something like that would never actually happen. But it was a nice delusion to have that was actually somewhat positive. The transfer student remained as sheepish as ever, not uttering so much as a peep. Rimi also didn't say a word. In fact, she didn't give any indication that she was here at all. The scattered whispers grew to murmurs as the transfer student maintained her silence, so in order to comfort her, the teacher placed his hand on her shoulder. I don't really think that's a way of comforting her, but okay, whatever.
みんな、この子は折原梢だ。仲良くしてやってくれ。折原、席は一番後ろだ。席についていいぞ。
The transfer student made her way to the back without saying a word, keeping her head low to the ground. Think we're good? Nope, her seat was 4 rows behind mine. Should I pretend to watch her so I could catch a glimpse of the people behind me? Problem was, that would draw a lot of unwanted attention to myself. I didn't want any dokuns trying to pick a fight, all don't go staring at her just because she's cute or some bullshit like that. I was at a loss for what to do. Should I look now or should I wait until class is all over? My head still firmly pressed against my desk, I squeezed my fists tightly. Forget it, I was a coward. Just the thought that if I turned around, my eyes would meet with that girl's sent shivers down my spine.
その人って
Huh?
悪い人なの？だったらね、本当に殺してあげてもいいよ。
Alright. The transfer student walked right by my seat. Taken aback, I glanced at her face. Our eyes met only for her to immediately avert her gaze and continue walking. What was that voice? Yeah, that is not what she said when we did the neutral. I'm pretty sure that's what we did before. No doubt, it had just been another one of my delusions. I've been feeling overwhelmed by them lately, almost as if reality and delusion were blending together. Oh, you don't know the most of it on that one there. Still lacking the courage to turn around, my body stiffened even further, squeezing inward in my seat. I tried to focus on staying completely still, desperately trying to avoid drawing Rimi's attention. Chapter 3 was a wicked chapter. Honestly, a lot of these, like, there's just so much content packed in these early chapters. It's pretty crazy that I don't remember what specifically happens in each one. And did we choose positive before? I don't know. I think we've done a negative here. Okay, yep, we've done a positive for sure. And then the actual call there, or the message. I think this chapter ends with the earthquake. I don't know, there's just so much crazy shit that happens that it is hard to remember. It is. Let's try positive again. Nope, we've done it before. Oh, maybe not. Oh, wait, you know what? I know what this is. Yeah, okay, there's just an extra line. I knew it seemed all too familiar. Oh, back to skipping on through. I'm trying to see if there's any more observations that we can make, and I guess chapter 3 doesn't end with that. I guess chapter 4 ends with the earthquake. I know it's pretty early on either way. God damn. Fucking Kozupi, man. Ah, damn it. You know, there was something I did think about related to this, and I wanted to bring it up, but damn it, I don't remember what it was. I don't even remember what this delusion was. So positive? We get something new. All right, maybe that'll give me some time to think about what I was thinking about. Something stuck out to me, and I wanted to bring it up to talk about while skipping through here, but completely lost it, you know? I should work up some courage and act natural.
Ohayo, Sakihata-san.
Ohayo.
All right, first contact went well. But just when I started to feel relieved, Rimi tilted her head to the side with a frown.
ねえタク、なんで急に妙竹林の呼び方するの？
妙竹林。
咲畑さんなんてなんだか他人行儀。今までみたいに呼んでよ。
Like I normally did, but I didn't even know what that that was.
じゃあリミ。
お、なんだいタク。
いや特に何もないけど。
じゃあ私から一言。
Rimi cleared her throat, looked around the room, and then brought her face close to mine.
タクは大地みたいになっちゃダメだよ。ああいう女たらしはいつかひどい目に遭うに決まってるから。
あ、うん。肝に銘じておくよ。
うんうん。タクのそういう素直なところ、私好きだな。
She likes something about me, huh? In other words, from Rimi's point of view, was I the honest, neutral character archetype?
そもそも私、大臣のことで一つだけどうしても許せないことがあるんだよね。あれだけあちこちの女子に声かけてるのに、私には全く見向きもしないってこと。ひどいと思わない？
え、三角くんに口説かれたいの？
I guess that wasn't surprising. He was a total alpha in terms of looks, and he was fun to talk to. Yeah, nothing our beta male ass can really compete with, you know? Even if you stuck him with a penalty for being a playboy, he'd probably still be the type any girl would like to go out with. But despite what I thought she was talking about, Rimi frowned and shook her head.
タク、冗談きついよ。大臣に口説かれるなんて想像しただけで鳥肌立っちゃう。
She wrapped her arms around herself and made a big show out of pretending to shiver.
私はノーサンキュー。でもなんていうのかな、女としてのプライドっていうものがあるわけじゃない？ねえ、タクから見て私ってどう？魅力ある？
You're asking me something that's real hard to answer.
どう？
And it didn't help that her eyes were twinkling, and she was clearly bursting with anticipation. That's, of course I thought she was attractive, but it'd take a lot of courage to say it out loud.
認めたくないものだな。
若さゆえの過ちというものを。
引っかかった。
Okay, I don't even know what that means. Oh man, we got a lot of shit here. Short for the full quote, no one likes to admit to the mistakes they've made because of their youth. A quotation from an extremely popular mecha anime series, often followed with the various lines about youth, such as, that's what it is to be young. Yeah, no idea. Damn, we got an achievement. Nice. We have so many fucking tips that we unlocked recently. God damn. How are we looking? We still have a couple there, one there, a few there. Yeah, we still have a little bit to go, but not too much more on the tips. There's a lot of S's still, but no, I think we're almost done. Oh wait, what is this? You are not delusional in the slightest. Your personality. Oh, diagnostic results. Oh my God, was this where the? Hold on. What the fuck is this? This is... Yeah, diagnosis. I've never seen that before. Is this different based on the, on that test? I've never noticed that. Rimi smiled triumphantly. Was she actually an otaku? There's no way. I smiled a bitter smile in defeat. But even though the conversation was completely normal, I found myself having a lot of fun. Up until now, I'd almost never had this kind of conversation with a girl before. I didn't know why, but I felt like we clicked pretty well together. Which was why I was able to say what came next so naturally.
リミは魅力的だよ。
Rimi exaggeratedly threw her head backwards, and her face instantly turned beet red.
面と向かって言われると恥ずかしい。 でもありがとう。タクにそう言ってもらえるとすごく嬉しい。大臣に口説かれるより1億兆倍嬉しい。
1億兆なんて桁はないけど。
なんとなくニュアンスで分かってよ。それだけスケールの大きい嬉しさってこと。
Well, that was a nice delusion. That was actually probably the most positive delusion that we've gotten out of all the positive delusions. So that's what it's like to be young. If only I could have that kind of conversation daily. Every day of my life would be fun and fulfilling, and how I saw the world would change completely. But at the end of the day, that was just an illusion. The me in reality couldn't even make eye contact with Rimi. I just kept my head down, didn't move, and stayed silent. I despised my own cowardice, and so I was hit with a fierce wave of depression.
タク？
As is tradition, Rimi, who had been silent the entire time, finally came out to me, albeit hesitantly. But I couldn't respond due to how sudden it was. To her, it probably felt like I was ignoring her. In my head, I knew I couldn't keep acting like this, but in the end, I still couldn't get myself to do anything.
大丈夫？
And this time I nodded frantically. It probably made me look pretty suspicious.
そう。だったらいいんだ。
Rimi's voice was gentle. I could hardly believe it. But she seemed like she was going to continue patiently being with me, even though I was being silent. "Are you okay?" was what she had said. I felt the sudden urge to ask her something. I wanted to ask, back when we met in front of 107, what did it look like to you? Alright. That was actually a really nice delusion, I will admit. That was, like, the definition of positive. Like, 100% there. We've had some pretty, like, iffy positive delusions, but no, that one was pretty alright. And what did I choose here? I don't know. So again, we go positive. I think I'll just go positive to the end because I really just do not know. And here we go. I automatically stopped dead in my tracks. Thoughts ran through my head frantically. If I ran away, what would she do? Would she swing her D-sword at me while she chased me? When I tried to envision it happening, it freaked me out way too much, so I hurriedly shook the delusion out of my head. Conversely, what if I were to just walk straight in instead? She would get a much better impression of me, and maybe then she wouldn't be so violent. Maybe she'd even be in a good enough mood that she'd be interested in selling her D-sword to me. I didn't think that she'd give it up that easily, but maybe I could at least get her to tell me where she bought it from. On top of that, she seemed to have been waiting for me. In other words, that meant she had taken some form of interest in me. She looked scary, but as was often the case with tsundere types, she might have actually been pretty nice in reality. And that could just be wishful thinking, though. Then again, it wasn't like I was going to get cold just because I went inside. Surely that was true. We were right in the middle of Shibuya, after all, right in front of the Hachiko's statue. There were tons of people surrounding us. Killing me in public in front of all of them would have been suicide. I took a single deep breath, gathered my resolve, and then I stepped onto the train. A little bit different of a reaction, I guess you could say, towards this. Again, I'm not really sure what the distinction is whenever we're making these choices, whether we're going into a delusion or if we just have a different state of mind. Shit. I don't know what I chose here. So, all reliable, or at least for this trek through the game. Oh, we've done positive before. Which is okay. That's alright. Just means we get a better move on. And you know what? I know for a fact I chose negative here. I remember I chose negative because I wanted to be an asshole. So this should give us some new stuff. No, I had to be imagining things. There was no way the police would suspect me of anything. I wasn't a murderer. I wouldn't hurt a fly. Forget that for now. I'd just take a break for a little bit longer. My chest still hadn't stopped pounding. So instead of continuing to run, we would continue to run if we chose negative, but choosing positive would actually allow him to think a little bit more clearly. So yeah, I mean, It's either a delusion or just a different state of mind. For no particular reason, I looked up at the night sky as my shallow breathing continued. I couldn't see any stars. The glaring artificial light that shone above the ground cast a thin veil across the Shibuya sky. It blocked out even the faintest light of the stars that had traveled for decades, for centuries to get here, transforming the night sky into a flat, emotionless blackness. What a piece of shit sky. But that was normal for Shibuya. For someone living in Shibuya, this sky was my sky. I returned my gaze to the policeman from earlier and I jumped. The policeman was coming toward me. I had to avoid making eye contact. I stood up and turned my eyes to the road stretching under the overpass. The footsteps were getting closer and closer. I prayed from the bottom of my heart that they would pass by me. But
Kimi,
a voice called out, one that was clearly directed at me.
ちょっといいか?
My heartbeat, which had only just started to calm down, began to violently pound in my chest once more.
すいません。急いでるんで。
Wait a minute. I never noticed this in the CG, but that guy there on the left. Isn't that Senna's father right there? Like he's just right there?
そうは見えないな。
What reason could this cop have... God damn it. These fucking guys. I'm sorry, but like... this is something I just cannot accept with the retranslation work or whatever the hell. Is why do they have to add the shortening of have or whatever like that with the apostrophe VE onto so much shit? It's just so annoying to read. God damn. Sorry, I'll stop bitching. What reason could this cop have possibly had for taking or talking to me? And then I can't speak. I started putting a list together inside my head. 1. Because I'm alone at night in an unusual place. 2. Because I look suspicious. 3. Because they're just questioning people at random. 4. Because the police think I'm a suspect for the NewGen case. It's number 4.
身分を証明するもの。そうだな。生徒手帳を見せてくれないか?
Damn it. I didn't have time for this. I needed to hurry up and hide somewhere less conspicuous. If I didn't, Yua would find me again. But if I ran away from the cops, I could get arrested for obstruction of justice. Not only that, but if they were investigating me because of reason number 4, then bolting would put me in an even worse position. Regardless of the circumstances, I had to get past this cop, and I had to do it fast. With no other options, I took my student handbook out from inside my uniform pocket and handed it to the officer. The officer took it and flipped it open to check my name and photo. Immediately after, something changed in his face. His expression stiffened. What? What was up with him? Did my name really warrant that kind of reaction? Maybe I really am a NewGen suspect. The police were mistaken. I hadn't done anything. Yua made up her mind and decided that I was the NewGen criminal. She said I just wasn't aware of it. And that couldn't be true. I didn't sleepwalk. I didn't have multiple personalities. Stop screwing with my head.
ありがとう。
To my surprise, the policeman readily returned my handbook to me. He then quickly turned back around and headed toward the park, almost as if running away. How he was acting spoke far louder than words. I had a terrible feeling about this. Did they actually suspect me? I stared at the officer's back, frozen. Then the policeman suddenly gave a light bow to the man sitting on the bench, or at least that's what it had looked like. Something's off. Was it just my imagination? I knew for a fact that he had looked at the man on the bench, but I couldn't figure out if he had actually bowed to him or if it had just looked like he had. The policeman left the park directly after that. The man on the bench looked like he was still messing with his cell phone. Looked like being the key words. It didn't even look like his fingers were moving. I couldn't see him clearly because of the darkness. Normally the cell phone screen would be glowing, but the one he was looking at was completely dark. Something's really off here. I looked around to check on everyone else in the park. One of the homeless people was slouching on the ground at the base of a large tree, a spot that was far removed from the others. He didn't move in the slightest. All he did was hold up a strange sign, his face staring down on the ground. The 3 or so homeless people squatting in front of the small hut covered by a blue tarp didn't seem to be having much of a conversation. They were just sitting around in a circle. One of them had their hand over their mouth. It almost seemed like they were doing it deliberately, like they were trying to cover their mouth with their hand and collar or something. Or at least, that was what it looked like. I don't know why exactly, but something feels off. There was a strange sense of tension seizing the air. Granted, it could have just been my imagination, but hold on. Was it possible that everyone was an undercover cop? That delusion floated up to the top of my head and I shuddered. I frantically told myself that it was nothing more than that, a delusion. But even if it was, I didn't want to stay here any longer. Time to run. I broke into a sprint. And I guess that's how we get running again, because we keep running until we run into ISA. I ran across the overpass and headed for the stairs leading down to Meiji-dori. I stopped right in front of them and whipped around to look behind me. The man on the bench was getting up. None of the other people moved. His body turned toward me, but his head was facing sideways. He was making his way toward me. It seemed he'd be walking a little faster than someone normally would. He was chasing me. That man was a detective. His build was unusually bulky. I didn't even know what his job could be otherwise. I couldn't figure anything out from his appearance alone. I can't tell if he's a detective from just that. No, he had to be one. There was no way he wasn't one. He was tailing me. I couldn't stay here. I bolted down the stairs. Shit. Now it wasn't just Yua that was after me, but the police too? And I hadn't done anything wrong. I hadn't done anything at all. Should I just tell them I was innocent? But even if I did, I couldn't get away from the fact that I was literally running away from the police right now. Besides, I was sure that the police would find some way to pin it on me regardless. They would never believe an otaku freak like me. I didn't have time to think about what would happen next. For now, I just needed to get away from Yua and the police. That was the sole thought occupying my mind. And we're right back to it. Nice. Alright. That took some time, but we good. And I will choose positive on this one. I don't even know if I chose one here before. That camisole with its cross-shaped design was downright criminal. And I couldn't help but think that it didn't look like she was wearing a bra underneath. Maybe she really wasn't wearing a bra. That would be very interesting, I think. What kind of underwear did Fess usually wear, I wondered? This is our positive direction? Probably the sexy kind, like black or red. But personally, I'd want them to be a nice and clean white. That was it? That was the positive? Okay, whatever. I guess that was our positive state of... Oh. Well. That'll explain it. That'll explain it, wouldn't it? Huh. You know, I think I was told something about this, like, 30 episodes ago, where if we chose a delusion there, which I guess I didn't, a different outfit would be shown, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. Nonetheless, I don't want to read any of this. I mean, the concept seems to be exactly the same, but yeah, I don't want to read any of this. Man, I can't wait to have to sit through that again whenever we do the negative delusion. That's going to be fun. That's going to be so much fun. So I guess the end of chapter 5 is when the earthquake happens? I guess I just don't remember when things happen. I could have sworn it was the end of chapter 3, but I guess I'm wrong. Or maybe it was the end of chapter 2? No, it wasn't, because we never got the phone call yet. See, I just don't remember these things now. And we've already had a positive. Nice. Tight. Good way to get that whose eyes are those eyes message, huh? Alright. Cool. I think we've done a positive here, but I'll do it just in case. Why not? Aha! Rimi's cheeks flushed slightly in embarrassment. And then, having seemingly made up her mind, she whispered something to me.
私のこと好きにしていいよ。
What the fuck? Where is this coming from? When I understood the meaning behind her words, my brain stopped computing. I couldn't tell if she was joking or being serious. I tried to look away, but before I could...
しゃがんで。
Huh? Rimi glanced at our surroundings and then pressed down on my shoulders hard. Without really knowing why, I obeyed her. I crouched down and leaned against the seedy shelves, hugging my knees. Rimi also crouched down in front of me and I was completely lost. What the hell was she planning?
膝伸ばして。
Did she want me to sit directly on the floor? I didn't want to act like such a dokyun, but Rimi she didn't wait for my consent. She grabbed both of my calves and forced my legs to straighten out. I couldn't stop myself from sliding down to the floor. What the fuck? Game. Why? Where is this coming from? Right as my legs hit the floor, Rimi got on top of me. Rimi put her index finger on my lips. She wanted me to stay quiet, evidently. But doing something like this inside a store? As if she'd read my mind, Rimi started giggling.
ここインディーズのコーナーってお客さんあんまり来ないよね。
I mean, yeah.
こうしてしゃがんだら周りから見えなくなっちゃ
What was she implying?
う。ねえ、タク。
Rimi moved her face in even closer. Her breath stroked my cheeks. It was hot. I couldn't avert my gaze from Rimi's shimmering eyes. I could feel myself being sucked right into them. It was like I was under some magic spell. Rimi was staring straight at me, just as I was at her. As we stared at each other, Rimi's hands began to move. And then she started undoing my blazer one button at a time.
何を
Paying me no mind, Rimi's hand grabbed hold of my tie. With one pull, she unfastened it and then she began to unbutton my shirt.
ね人が来る
Don't worry, we're the MC. We're actually really well built.
人が来たらすごくまずいよね。
Wait, we have a base. Why here? Come on, Takumi, use your brain with these delusions, man. Come on. Despite what she had just said, Rimi's slender hands continued to move. They artfully slid beneath her shirt and onto my bare chest. Did I say my shirt or her shirt? Whichever. Her cool hands slowly glided across my skin. What a bewitching smile. She had always been so cheerful and energetic, never once emitting any kind of sexual vibe or intention. But now that expression on her face made my heart throb.
タクの胸ドキドキしてる。
リミってテラエロス
テラエロス？
Oh god, I'd said that out loud. That alone went to show how shaken I really was.
それってどういう意味かな？教えてよ、タク。
It means you're so unbelievably sexy. Rimi's fingers steadily crept along my skin and then they traveled down my neck. It tickled. It felt better than anything I'd ever felt before.
私のこと好きにしたくなってきた。
Following my instincts, I nodded repeatedly.
じゃあここでしちゃうか。
I couldn't believe my own ears. Do it. Did she mean...
何を
Oh, come on. Come on.
おーい。
Suddenly, I came back to myself. Rimi was waving her hand in front of my face, her eyebrows furrowed in confusion. I wasn't sitting on the floor, and Rimi wasn't on top of me. We were just standing there, facing each other, like people normally did.
どうしたの？急に意識がどこかに飛んじゃってたみたいだけど。
なんでもない
落ち着け。
I took a step back from Rimi, turned my back to her, and took a deep breath. Holy shit. That had been the hottest delusion of all time. I was so fucked up. Not to mention a self-loathing idiot. I couldn't believe I just thought of that. Actually, no, forget that. Rimi was the one who was talking about giving me something in return. You'd see that line before an infinite number of H scenes. Any guy who'd even dipped his toes into the genre would have had his imagination go wild over it. Anyway, what was she actually planning to do for me?
その調子だと話聞いてなかったでしょ
うん
じゃあもう一回言うけど、私のお気に入り CD を貸すっていうので手を打ってくれないかな。ね
は
えねえ、いいでしょ、お願いします、この通り。
あ
Life was a cruel mistress, though I suppose it was my fault for expecting anything. Come to think of it, I wasn't supposed to be into 3D girls at all, yet I had just had a delusion about doing that with Rimi. Why? It's because we like her, you know? When I agreed to Rimi's proposal, she delightedly struck a victory pose. That sight was so amusing to me that despite the critical situation I was in, I couldn't help but laugh. That was interesting. I've noticed that, I don't like to compare to Chaos Child, but my god, the amount of, god fucking damn it. Why? Why do we have to see this? Stop. I don't want to see this. I know I'm going to forget to blur one of these. And it's going to piss me off. Oh, fucking shit. Hey, look, another delusion. Yeah, compared to Chaos Child, there's just a ridiculous amount of sexual delusions in this shit. It is kind of ridiculous. And annoying, but it is what it is. Takumi's character is a little bit more, I don't know, fucked? Let's go with that. Oh, hey, we tripped a flag. Cool. I don't even remember what's really going on. Oh, now I kind of remember what's going on. Wait, did we've gone through this before, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, we have. We have. I was gonna say, that looked a little too familiar. Just a wee bit. Hey, you know what? I don't see that guy sitting there in the background anymore. So yeah, that was a nice little, I don't know what you want to call it. Foreshadowing, maybe? Little glance into somebody we'll actually meet in the future or something along those lines. I don't know. Shit. We'll do positive here. I think positive is for here. Nope, we've done positive before. Maybe that needed to be a neutral. I know we've done negative. That gave us another whose eyes or those eyes sort of message. Maybe we just needed to do neutral there. I think that's something else I'm gonna have to do. I know we did a lot of neutral last time through, but oh, here we go. Here's our earthquake. But no, I'm pretty sure there's even more neutrals that we should probably try and tackle. So now we're in chapter 6, right? This is like the transition chapter, I think. But I think I also have to do the, oh shit. I think I also have to do those questions. I'd like to end this episode off getting into the new route, into Nanami's route. So let's continue to hope that we can continue to just skip along here, and these positive delusions we've already seen or something along those lines. We're getting close though. We are. Chapter 6 is that that's that real big transitioning chapter, because we or not we, but more I moved over to the Committee of Zero patch. So I remember chapter 6 quite well. Oh, we've never done this one. I could feel Senna's breath on my cheeks. Just the thought of her only needing to move a bit closer to rip my throat out with her teeth genuinely terrified me. Staring at me at point-blank range, Senna... Jesus Christ, game. What the fuck? Why? I felt something soft press against my lips. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that I couldn't breathe, and I was getting really dizzy. I tried to push myself away from her, but Senna was still grabbing me by the chest, so I couldn't move. Not the reaction I would have expected. Something began wriggling lustfully against my lips, and then it penetrated my mouth. It twisted roughly around my tongue and slid across my gums and violated me orally. I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was for some reason it felt really good. Again, these sexual-esque delusions, what the fuck? But I was still having trouble breathing. I was about to pass out. But just before I would've, the wriggling object left my mouth. You good there? Senna's lips glistened with saliva. She had been staring at me with murderous eyes only a few moments ago, but now her eyes looked utterly enchanted. Wait, had she just kissed me?
お前こそ勇者だ。お前の力を私に貸せ。私と一緒に戦え。拒否するのは許さない。
And right back to it. After rattling off that insanity in an angry voice, Senna brought her face to mine once again. She pressed her lips madly against mine and violated my mouth. Her hot breaths and sweet saliva trickled past my lips. Okay, you good now?
私は勇者に純潔を捧げるために生まれてきた巫女だ。
In a state of pure ecstasy, she rattled off line after line that made me think, what eroge is this?
お前
Honestly,
がいないと
what have we been
この
walking
戦いには
into?
勝てない。さあ、血の契約を交わそう。
Okay. Senna's teeth sank deeply into my lip. Pain shot through me and the taste of blood spread inside my mouth.
お前が欲しい。
Did she have any idea how to ask someone something? Even if she did, everything she'd said was completely absurd. But the sensation of basically getting reverse raped? Well, to be blunt, I was hard as a rock. I could get into this kind of roleplay. However, there's other issues
Oi.
at hand here.
無視するな。
I shot back to my senses. Senna was still grabbing me by the chest, and she still had me pinned to the playground equipment. And her face was still really close. Our eyes met, and my face went hot.
その力のことを誰に教わったんだって聞いているんだ。
I didn't remember her asking anything like that. Maybe that scenario from earlier was just a delusion I'd used to escape reality, maybe? Despite me still trying to wrap my head around the situation, Senna didn't seem to care and started shaking me violently.
誰からだ？答えろ。天聖信仰会とは関係あるのかないのか。
Divine Church of the what now? I shook my head reflexively. I can't breathe, you're choking me. I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna die. I'm done for. It happens. To the best of us and the worst of us. Just before I lost consciousness, Senna suddenly let go of me and I collapsed to the ground. I kept on coughing, struggling desperately to get oxygen in my lungs. Was Senna my enemy after all? Was she another one of Shogun's underlings? If she was, then I had to run away.
関係ないならいい。悪かった。
Noticing my confusion, Senna clicked her tongue lightly, and then let out a sigh. Excuse me. And then without saying another word, she went to leave. Yeah, that was, that sure was something. And so was that. As we saw. Shit, how close are we to the big moment here? Well, I think we're pretty dang close. Shit. You know what? We'll save it here. I am kind of out of time. I don't want to rush it. So, next time I think we can actually enter Nanami's route. I think. And as we get back into all this in the next episode, we get to listen to everybody's favorite ringtone. But yeah, this was fun. This was a weird one, but yeah, Takumi has some problems because that Senna delusion we just had, if you choose negative, he was pretty much prepared to sexually assault her. So that's fun. Takumi has a great mind. Fantastic, truly. No evil intentions at all. Thank you all for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy shit, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.